is my 150cc Chinese dirt bike. I believe it's a Viper. That's what it says on it at least. So, but I believe it's the same company that makes the Apollo dirt bikes. It's still kind of cold. Engine's not warmed up all the way. Keeps killing. Yep, not warm yet. But anyway, ready to run. I think they retail for around $800. So you can try and pick yourself up one for around that price. It's pretty fast. Goes around 55 miles an hour. So I'm actually going to be trying to get this dirt bike street legalized. So I have a headlight coming in. I have a horn coming in. Brake light. Also a brake switch. So that way whenever you hit the brake, it applies pressure to here. And this has some wires on it that act as a switch whenever it receives pressure. So that should be coming in pretty soon. And yeah, we're gonna see if we can get this thing on the road legally. So like I said, it only goes 55, so there's gonna be places where I can't ride it because it's just not fast enough. But you know, for putting around the town or whatever, it should be fine. So yeah, for being Chinese, I'm pretty impressed with it. It's a 5-speed transmission. As you can see, it's 1 down and then 4 up. You know, half up for neutral, of course, like most bikes. So yeah, that's just a look of it. It's got a, I don't know if you can tell from the camera or not, but if you can get down low, you see the grill of the car behind it in the headlight. So that's about the bottom of the seat. So it's bigger than those 125 Apollos. This is closer to like a full-size dirt bike. So I'm pretty impressed with it. And like I said, for the price, I think that you're getting a lot of a machine for you know, for what you pay. But you know, there's things on it that can be improved. You know, I'm sure that you can change out the front forks and get some nice ones. Also, that spring right there is, you know, really cheap. So you know, your suspension is not great. Also, the tires are kind of ridiculous on this thing. I just got it a couple weeks ago, and it's already really eaten into the tires. Yeah, still obviously got a lot of tread on them, but you know, it really surprised me how fast they're being. They're really starting to eat into the tire. I was expecting it to go a little bit longer before seeing that kind of damage on the tire. Oh, here's a point to add. If you do decide to get one of these dirt bikes, I do recommend them, but one of the first things I'll tell you to do is to change the oil out. They come with some Chinese oil, and I mean, it is absolutely horrible. I don't know if I have any still. I just did the oil change. I'm not gonna be able to tell from there, but man, it was thick. It was some thick stuff, and it was only ridden for about maybe 2 hours. So I would definitely recommend, if you do decide to get one of these Chinese dirt bikes, really any dirt bike that you get that's made in China, not in the US, I would say go ahead and change that oil out right away, because right as soon as it was, you know, starting to heat up and everything like that, you know, it runs real good. And then shortly afterwards, like I said, it was only running for about 2 hours. Shortly after we had it running, you know, it started to lose power. A really bad decrease in power. I had my cell phone on it, and I would put the GPS, you know, miles per hour tracker, speedometer thing, and it was reading about 53 to 55 miles an hour. And after the bike got warmed up, you would think that it would perform better being warm. But you know, as time went on, it got worse. It got slower. And so I did some research, and they said to pull the oil out as soon as you can. It will actually damage the engine if it goes unmaintained. I called not the manufacturer, the store where I purchased it, and the guy said, yeah, you know, the mechanic should have told you, but at 4 hours you need to pull the engine oil out. Man, honestly, I think you should do it right away. There's no need for that oil to be in the engine. I mean, I can't think of one beneficial reason why that oil should be in the engine. I mean, if you guys know a different reason, then, you know, go for it. But it was horrible. When I pulled the oil out, it was separated. It had a lighter, you know, type of texture at the top of the oil, or consistency rather, at the top of the oil, and at the bottom, it was like sludge. And like I said, it was brand new. This is I'm the first owner of this bike. Nobody's ever ridden it other than me, and I've only ridden it for maybe about 6 hours in total. So about 2 hours, I started noticing the decrease of power. I said, you know what, let me change this oil out, because I made those phone calls, and it was absolutely horrible. So definitely take that oil out. Probably another thing that I'll do to this is I'm gonna upgrade the carburetor. I don't know if I'm gonna do that soon, probably later on. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it now. But I was thinking about just doing the jets on the carburetor, but I might go with a performance carburetor, you know. Probably gonna change out the exhaust too, try and have more airflow coming in and out of the engine. So we'll try and see about all that. First things first, let's try and get it on the road. I live in Texas, so we need to have insurance, we need to have a headlight, brake light, and rear view mirrors. So I have that stuff coming in the mail. Oh, also a horn. So, but yeah, that's a quick look around the 150cc Chinese dirt bike. So, there you go.